Divine Risings, and welcome to my podcast, Shadow Work and Gems, guys. And you will see my eyes keep flipping back and forth. I have my own notes here so that I can pretty much give you the information that we are here for, which is shadow work, my people. So that is where I pretty much originated, like meaning the YouTube channel Divine Butterfly. So that's probably how you found Shadow Work and Gems. So welcome in. We're going to jump right on into this. So this is pretty much just me helping you to help yourself on a shadow work journey. If you are obviously on one, if you're not, then you don't need to be here. You can keep moving. And I thank you for coming in and goodbye. If you stay and if you're still here, that is, we're going to jump right on into this. So first of all, we're going to jump into obviously journey of shadow work, right? So if you're ready for this journey, I'm basically online and I have been for quite some time, but it is a long haul because it's never ending. So the journey in this introduction, we need to understand that you have to be willing to realize the unconscious mind and how it works, how the conscious part of your mental life that you are actively aware of at any given moment. Awareness, thinking, reasoning, memory, access. Interaction with the world contrasts with subconscious. Okay. The unconscious mind, the part of the mind, or should I say the psyche, that operates outside of consciousness awareness, but still influences thoughts, behaviors, emotions. Basically, the unconscious mind emphasizes thoughts, feelings, memories, and impulses that are not readily accessible to conscious. Okay. So this is beyond the conscious, beyond like, out there. Okay. So moving along, we have the subconscious mind. That's part of the brain that operates below conscious awareness, storing your memories, your beliefs, your habits, and the shape and basically the shape our behavior and the decision making. So we need to figure out a way to control your emotions during situations with people like arguments, disagreements. Your emotions don't matter at that moment. It's about the problem at hand. So whatever the discussion, or should I say disagreement, was about, that's what it's about. Not your feelings, not your emotions. None of that matters. It's the problem at hand. Moving along. So then we get to, I'm sorry for the smacking, guys. I don't know why I do that when I do this podcast thing. It's a bad habit. I don't do that when I actually do my videos. But moving on. Unconscious mind equals habits, patterns. So the emotions, protection, controls bodily function, belief, the desires, blaming, denying, the lying, also attachment to things, thoughts, and feelings. Okay, then you have conscious mind, logic, filter, analysis, movement, decision making, short term memory, and willpower, as well as critical thinking. Moving along, understanding emotional triggers. So, shame, embarrassment, guilt, anger, jealousy, sadness, regret, fear. Also, guys, before we move any further, I would like to say this is all for educational purposes, entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am not licensed. I've just been through things and I've learned and I've pretty much went through and read a lot of different stuff, kind of put my own little thoughts and, things together, piece some things together to kind of help other people break it down a little bit better so that you don't have to read as much unless you don't mind reading. I'm a person that doesn't mind reading. So moving on from there. So again, if you feel like you have deep-seated things that you can't move past, you that just bother you constantly all the time, no matter what, seek professional help. That is not here. And um, yeah. So just again, I'm not professional, not licensed. Just life learn lessons, guys. Okay. So when you're doing or having, should I say, reoccurring dreams or nightmares, dreams is a source of a symbolism in unconscious. It's a vault. So try to recall, you write down your dreams upon waking up, analyze the symbols, the emotions, and themes in those dreams. Those hold great insight to your shadows, your fears, desires, and unexpected parts of yourself. So then we get into social withdrawal. how to spot your own shadow self, which is recognizing patterns, repetitive behaviors that are hard to break or free yourself from. That is the shadow part, self reflection. Okay. So moving along. So when we get there, excuse me, guys. I was actually it's kind of my apologies, TMI as well. Understanding projections, right? So putting things onto other people, knowing that it's you that's called reflecting, mirroring. Okay. So it is reality or really you and not them in a sense. So basically, it could be a situation where it's like you know it's you, but you want to put the blame on somebody else. It's that's the shadow part right there. So then you got to get into exploring your childhood and your past. And some people it's not so easy, but experiences. So that's basically you needing to reflect on your childhood, your family dynamics, and certain life events. Identify unresolved issues so that you can move forward. Feel what you need to feel so that you can heal and you can move on from it. Okay. And that's again going back to if you can't move past things, excuse me, after you felt them, you went through it, you need to seek professional help. That means it's something deeper that you just can't, you need to, again, that's just that. Moving on. Sometimes I think I need to go to somebody, but not for something like deep seated things, just in general. But that's neither here or there. Moving along. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. That's by Carl Jung. You guys should read him. This is pretty much where shadow work came from, him doing a lot of the work for us and then us just having to read what he discovered. So again, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with darknesses of other people. Now, how to spot your shadow self. Reacting automatically without a conscious choice triggers are valuable clues. Painting toward underlying issues or shadows, spot them so that you can realize what is the actual issue with you. So when you know that you're about to have an argument with somebody, if you start or they started, certain things trigger us. Know what they are so that we can kind of stop that, okay? And then we have um, some techniques to help you kind of try to relax, like in these situations. Um, me giving myself affirmations or basically, finding ways to calm yourself down. So try relaxing techniques in a sense. Try taking deep breaths or counting to yourself, saying in your own mind affirmations that help if you're able to write, paint, listen to music, meditate, go for a walk if you need to, okay? To be able to release that energy, that bad energy that you know that you have, you know what I mean? So you could even take a bath or talk to somebody that you can truly trust to get through those moments of emotions and make sure, again, trust these people so that you're not telling them all your business or your deep seated emotions and then they're running around telling everybody, which is not going to help your journey, okay? But it do, but it don't. But that's neither here or there. Understanding these projections, which are aspects of yourself that the unconscious place onto other people. So that being us, of course, you, me, in general. It could be things that we like and we dislike, having a strong emotional reaction to someone else's behavior or qualities. It often signifies a um, disowned part of ourselves. Okay, the shadow aspect of ourselves, that part that we always try to hide, or at least we think we're hiding it, but people know what it is. So then we get into understanding the emotional triggers. That's the shame, which is intense emotion that arises when you believe there is something wrong with who you are, feeling unworthy, inadequate, humiliated, making us feel small and understanding, or rather, I'm sorry, undeserving of love and acceptance, which we all are deserving of. So, I'm so sorry, guys. This could be from your past traumas. Overcoming this is self acceptance and recognizing your worthiness as a human being. And then we have guilt, which is arising when we believe that we have done something wrong or violated our own moral code. Blaming oneself. Guilt can be a constructive emotion because it reveals your values and helps you learn from mistakes. It signals a need for accountability and encourages us to make amend or change our behavior. Okay. So going into anger, a powerful and complex emotion that is provoked in response to perceived threats, injustice, or frustration. It can be mild or intense and manifest as a physical or emotional response. Anger is natural and valid emotion that reveals a need for change or boundaries. Uncontrolled or excessive anger can lead to destructive behavior, harmful or harming oneself or even other people. Then you have that sadness, right? There's that deep, saddening emotion that rises when you basically response to like a loss, a disappointment, or unfulfilled desire. Sadness can be triggered by a lot of different experiences, such as loss of a loved um, the end of a relationship, or even unmet expectations. It is at the end of a relationship of unmet expectations. It is a natural and necessary part of the human experience. Embarrassment. This emotion stems from feeling self-conscious, awkward, or humiliated in social norms. Ongoing embarrassment can lead to feeling shame and desire. I'm sorry, to hide. Desire to hide, basically. You let me know if any of this resonates with you all. Jealousy is a cover up emotion. It masks itself as anger or judgment, when underneath it's sadness and dissatisfaction with the self. It can lead you to compare yourself to others and protect what you have. Regret occurs when you feel sad or over um, past actions, or maybe even, I'm sorry, past actions, or the, I'm sorry, guys, I can't even read my own writing right now. Or the truth. Or the truth is that most people regret what they did not do more. They regret what they did do. Sorry, guys, it took me a minute to actually catch my own writing. So then we're moving on to fear, and it's a primal and powerful emotion that arises in response to perceived threats or dangers. It triggers a domino of psychological and emotional responses. To keep you safe, fear can serve as a protective mechanism, but irrational fear can limit our experiences and growth. Overcoming fear involves understanding its root cause, challenging irrational beliefs, and gradually exposing yourself to feared situations in a safe and supportive manner. Okay. Oh, sorry, guys, hit the mic. So, get to the root equals behaviors of your unconscious shadow. Include feeling angry, irritated, anxious without a clear reason. And sometimes we all go through that where we're just mad, we don't have a reason for it. Yeah. So blaming external factors for your problems, consistently playing the victim. Ongoing negative thoughts and laziness, lack motivation, and doubting your capabilities. Jealousy equals negative thoughts towards other people, feelings of guilt, shame. That's what we got right there, right? So it's a lot to unpack as far as all of that goes. A lot to unpack. And I think I'm just going to stop right there. And when we come back, we'll get back into the wound mapping situation, which will be our next podcast. So this will be our first podcast. The second one will go into wound mapping. Um, at any rate, guys, if you have any comments, more than welcome. I like to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions. And You guys pretty much know mine. I mean, if you guys want the backstory of the reason of me actually jumping into shadow work, and I actually enjoy it and I actually love it because I feel like I'm a little bit better of a person than I was before I began shadow work. I was a little selfish. And if you have a loved one or loved ones, like I had, a boyfriend, then moved on to now we're married. But at the time, there was a lot of things, and I was a little selfish, and you can't be like that. Things that you just don't realize, you know. So we'll talk about that maybe if you guys are interested, but you probably not. But if you is, you leave me a comment and we'll go into that. But moving along, this will be the end for now for shadow work and gems, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, leave me some comments, guys. Bye. Sorry for hitting the mic again. I'm out, guys. Bye.